Hello, this is Greg from FX Saddle Company, and today I would like to show you how to tie a 3-hole knot. This is useful for tying billets onto a saddle, which would look like this. This is a rear billet. Or to tie a knife case or sheath onto a saddle billet. And we sell these sheaths and they come with the lace. So I'd like to show you how to do that today. And the first step would be to figure out where you want it mounted. It could be positioned up here near the top, which would require undoing this knot, and you would need to know how to retie it. Or it could be down here below it so that you don't have to untie it. Once you have decided on the position, you will need to mark that and punch holes. So to do that, I have a piece of leather with holes to simulate the knife sheath, and we would lay that on top of the billet and use our pointy object to mark the holes. So you can see I'm just making a little indentation there, and then we're going to take our hole punch and use the largest hole and just punch those out. Okay, now take your lace and use the bottom holes first. And you'll want to double check that the length, after you go through those 2 holes, that the length is even. Just get that very close to even. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go back up through this top hole. And this is where your awl can come in handy to help make some room in a tight hole. And of course, a nice pointy end is also helpful. Okay, flip it back over. Now we're going to go back down through these holes and make a basic triangle. Just like that. So at each step, you are pulling it nice and snug, not so hard that you're going to rip it, but that there's a good tight connection between the 2 pieces of leather. And so this is what it's going to look like on the back side. And to finish this, all that you need to do is take this end and put it under here so we can use our awl. Or this is where a needle nose, a small needle nose might be handy. You can actually push it in underneath that. Open it up and pull it underneath. That would be one way of doing it. And then same thing on the other side. Pull them tight and then cut them off. Unless you're not happy with it, then you might say, hey, I'm not going to cut them yet. Let's undo it and let's tie it again. So you can practice as many times as you like, but I want to show you one other method of doing it, and that would be this method where you have the extra step of the pieces that wrap around the side. And this looks a little different because it's a wider piece of lace than this one, but it's easier to work with the narrow pieces, especially if you don't have a hole punch that can punch large holes. So if you want to add that extra step, instead of tucking them underneath here and finishing, what we're going to do, make sure we make some room in this and pull this piece, so the one on the side, around and stick it through this hole. You can see I barely have that tip pulling through there. I'm going to use the needle nose to help get that through. That looks like that. Same thing here. Let's make some room. So there we are. Now flip it over and complete the same way that you would have completed the other way. And I'm going to just tuck them underneath. Pull them tight. And now is when you could cut them off. Leave a little bit of tail on there, but cut them off. So that is it. That's how you would mount that on there. And that of course would be one. And then you would need to do it again at the bottom. And it's quite simple, especially if you're not going to do this final step. It's really just making a triangle with the lace and tucking it underneath. So I'll take a minute here and just show you these knife sheaths. We offer these in a few leather colors to hopefully get close to matching your saddle. And the lace is included, and then we also include a knife. And this is a hoof pick knife, so it has a hoof pick right on it, and then also a nice long knife blade. And that can be kept right on your saddle then, right on the billet, and there whenever you need it. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I hope that is helpful. Thank you.